Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something very old, very rare and very, very exciting. We are looking at the 1968 release by Century 21 Toys Limited, which is Gerry Anderson's toy company. And it is of the 1968 Joe 90 car. And this particular one is the battery operated version of the flying car, which was driven by Dr. McClain, which was Joe McClain's father. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in. Okay, so front of the box it says battery operated Joe 90 car, and it's got copyright ATV Overseas Limited 1968. You got the Century 21 logo, and it says Century 21 Toys Limited, made in England. And I think it's exactly the same on the other side. Yep, so if you turn the box all the way around to the other side, it's exactly the same. It says battery operated Joe 90 car, ATV Overseas Limited 1968, Century 21 logo, and Century 21 Toys Limited, made in England. And if I just drop the box down, let's just angle the camera down a little. You can see that it says Joe 90, battery operated car, and you've got the big rat and image of Joe, the logo in the side centre there. And it says forward and reverse movement, preset rear wheel steering, hand operated tail fins, and automatic wing action, and real headlights. And if we just flip it over to the other side, it says Joe 90 battery operated car, and you've got the same logo again of Joe 90 in the big rat. And it says, in this box is a genuine scale model of our car, designed and built by my dad, Professor McClain, and that's signed by Joe 90. And right next to that, you can see an image of Joe 90's face. Okay, so that is the box. Now what I'm going to do now, this is a sleeve on the box. So the sleeve, I've actually got the box upside down. Let's just turn it around the other way. And if I just pull the sleeve off of the box, inside you can see the model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the box and let's have a look at it outside of the box. Okay, so I've removed the item from the box and this is what we got. And I've got to say, I mean, this thing is massive in comparison to the ones that we used to. I mean, this is obviously the Joe 90 car. You've got the remote control handset there, which looks just like a mobile telephone. And I think that's what it was designed to be like, a mobile phone. Even though back in 1968, they hadn't even invented the mobile phones. So there we go. That's how far advanced these television programs were back in the day. Really forward-thinking people that were working on these TV shows. But this is the Joe 90 car. And I'm just going to move the remote control out of the way. And there we can see the car itself. Now, before we actually have a better look at the way it works, I just want to get some sizes. So we are looking at 30 centimetres, which is 12 inches long. And if we measure across the wingspan, we are looking at 10 inches, which is 26 centimetres. And height-wise, if we measure from the bottom to the top of the car, we are looking at 5 inches, which is 13 centimetres. Now, obviously, that is a decent-sized car, and it's bigger than any of the others that have been produced. So the Dinky toys were a lot smaller. And then obviously the Matchbox ones, the Vivid ones were all so much smaller than this. Even though the others were die-cast, this is actually made of plastic. So the whole item is plastic. Obviously, it's got some faults because it is obviously getting on for nearly 60 years old. So 56 years, I think it is. But there was a bar which ran along the top of there, and there was a little a white top which sat on top of the, in fact you can see it on the image there. So that was a little white top with the aerial on it, and that bar that ran across the top, that's actually missing from this particular model. So that's one of the faults. The other is that the front hubcaps on both sides, on the left side and on the right side, are actually missing. So that's the bits that are missing. So it is not 100% complete, but it's as damn near complete as what you're going to find these days, I think. I think you could probably make some hubcaps to go in there, find something else that would fit, and pop them in. That wouldn't be a problem. And you'd probably be able to make something up to go across the top there to finish it off if you really wanted to. Personally, I like it just the way it is. Because it is old and original, I wouldn't want to change it. And obviously the back fins, you can move the back fins to any way you want. So you can put them down, you can put them up, you can push them in, so you can have them wherever you want. Obviously you've got the engines there, and the jet propelled pack at the back. And if we just turn it over onto the bottom, yeah, you can just see it just says Made in England on the bottom. And it'll say it is all completely plastic. Now, if you look in the front of the screen there, you can see Professor McClain. He is driving the car as he does in the television serial. And you can see the interior is all white and he's dressed in a red outfit. I presume that's Professor McClain and not Joe 90. It doesn't look like Joe 90, but it does look more like Professor McClain. So I presume that is him, which was Joe 90's dad. Okay, so that's the car. And then, of course, you have the remote control assembly. Now, the remote control assembly is a very basic remote control, so that it pops off, and inside it takes a couple of large batteries, which I have in my hand here. And I am going to insert the batteries. I hope I'm getting them the right way round, because I just want to make sure this thing is actually working. So let's put that on. Oh, there we go. Let's oh, there we are. That's forward movement. I'm holding it up at the moment because obviously you can see the headlights have come on. You can see that. I'm just going to turn the light off actually, and so you can get a better view of the lights. So let's just do that again. There you go. So you can see the headlights have come on. You can see the front wheels are rotating there, and the red button on the remote control, the one I'm pressing now, is the reverse, and they're going forward. Now you can see that the wings closed when we were running it forward, but unfortunately they don't seem to be opening properly. So that is another area that needs to be looked at on this. So it might need a little bit of work, I don't know, whoever buys it, just to get the wings working properly. They certainly close, so the mechanism is working, but why they're not opening, I've got no idea. So when we were testing the item out, they did open once or twice, but most of the time they didn't. So there we go. So we can move backwards, forwards, and you've got a steering mechanism at the back here. Just the back of the car. This actually steers the wheel. You can see the back wheels moving, so that's steered by that there. So if you move it to the right, it turns the car that way. If you move it to the left, it turns the wheels that way. So, and you can straighten them up with hand. You don't have to actually use that, but that's the steering. Wherever you position it is the way that the car is going to drive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move everything out of the way and try and give you a little bit of extra visibility on the way this car drives. Okay, so I've opened the wings out again. I'll put some light on again. So if I just move it forward, you can see the wings beginning to close, and we go backwards again, and the wings are closing again, backwards and forwards. They don't appear to close when you go backwards, but they do close when you go forward. But there we are. So that's basically how it works. I'd say the great thing about it is the lights. They obviously again I'm going to lift it up so you can just about see the lights. If I turn our lighting off again, because I do think that is a phenomenal part of this. If I just lift it up, there you can see the lights on in forward motion and the lights on again in reverse motion. And you can just see the wings are trying to open there. So and then they're closing. So sometimes they do open, and sometimes they don't. So that does need a little bit of work. Probably need a little bit of just a tiny bit of restoration on it to make them wings open properly as the car is driving along. But for something that is 56 years old, just put the lights back on. For something that's 56 years old, this is absolutely incredible. And I must say, it is one of my favourite vehicles of all the Gerry Anderson series. Even when you look at all the fantastic vehicles that in Thunderbirds and in Captain Scarlet, and right across the Gerry Anderson range of TV series, this, even Space 1999 and UFO, this was my favourite vehicle as a boy. I think it was one of the first toys that was bought for me by my parents, the Joe 90 car, and it was a dinky one that I had, and I think that's why it's always been one of my favourite vehicles, because it was one of my first dinky toys that my parents bought me. So there we go. That was a long, long time ago. But yeah, what more can I say about this? How well did they do? Well, Century 21 done a few versions of these. So they've done this one, which is a remote control version, and they've done a friction drive one. The friction drive one was a bit smaller. It wasn't quite as big as this one. And I believe that sold fairly well as well. And I believe this one did as well. I remember Joe 90 at the time. It was a very popular kids television program again. And it spanned some merchandise. Not a great deal. There was, again, lots of activity books and annuals were the most common things that these television programs spanned. So not a tremendous amount of merchandise, unfortunately. Century 21 done some merchandise, but not much. Dinky Toys done some again, but not much. Back in the 60s, I think there was a soft Joe 90 doll. It might have been a puppet, but there really wasn't any other merchandise. I think these were also quite expensive back in the day, so I don't really think there was a colossal amount of sales on them. I mean, I would expect it to be very expensive, because look at the detailing on it, even the cockpit and the driver. I mean, it's such a lovely, lovely model now, let alone what it was like in 1968. So yeah. So I do believe that they sold out, but I don't believe they've done a massive quantity of them. So now, finding them now in this condition, even though it's got its flaws, like I say, the top bar is missing, the aerial section is missing, and the front hubcaps are missing, and the wings don't open completely. They can if you pull them out, and they will close by themselves, but they don't actually open, or very occasionally they will open. So it does have its flaws which need to be rectified, or if you wanted to rectify it. But finding one like this, and it is working, is almost impossible. You do get them pop up from time to time on the platforms, but they're usually missing a tremendous amount of items, missing the remote control, or it doesn't work, or the wings are broken off, or the rear fins are broken, the wheels are gone. I mean, there's the sleeve of the boxes are being offered on sale on some of the platforms I saw for nearly 200 quid. So it just goes to show you what the value of this item really is. But finding them in this condition, like I say, is almost impossible. And this is the only one that we found. So we only have this one available, but it is now available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, and you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Gerry Anderson items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on our website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive you will not want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, Or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long-lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.